Hey, welcome to this video on mobility for injury prevention, or mobilisations for injury prevention. Now, most people, when they think about mobility and they think about they're a bit tight and they need to stretch to get mobile and that will help prevent injuries, it's not always the case. So stretching is pretty old school and we don't really do static stretching in the traditional sense anymore because of the research around it, and actually can increase injuries. If you think about what happens when you stretch statically, not in like a dynamic way, if this was my muscle and I just stretched it like that and held it there for a long time, eventually this becomes used to being that length, but it's not dynamic. It's going to lose its dynamicness and its kind of elasticity. And then when we want to strengthen it a little bit, then the muscle's going to tear, and then that becomes an issue. So we've got different techniques that we use, and it's not even just mobility, it's stability as well. So one of the main things you can do to prevent injuries is just get really strong, because that's going to stabilize your joints and it's going to make you less likely to overstretch, overdo something which is going to get you injured. So that's the thing we want to think about, mobility and stability. There's a whole bunch of movements that I've written up on the board here that most of you will know, but these positions you should be able to do really, really well, and if you can do them well, then the risk of injury is then much lower. So if you can squat well, then when you do have to go into a full squat position, then you're able to. And I've got ankle mobility, I need hip mobility to be able to do that. The hip hinge, that's the hinging at the hip, like that. So if we think about our deadlift position when we pick something up, if we can't do that because we have stiff, usually it's glutes and the lower, around here, in the top of our bum. If we can't do that and we only get to there, then we have to then round in the back. And then if that was heavy, when we go to pick that up, it can cause an injury. The lunge, similar to the squat, being able to do that, it's a bit of flexibility, but it's also a bit of stability. So important just for getting up and down off the floor, really. Arms overhead, simple. Can you actually reach your arms up overhead without kind of cheating and arching your back? If you can't, the risk of you hurting your back when you have to lift something up overhead is increased. And then the hang and the press, these are just different positions. This is the hang. So are you able to rotate your hands inwards, and the press as if you were doing a press up. So different positions that will help your shoulder prevent injuries if they had to go into that position. So what are the techniques that we can use instead of just static stretching? If you come in a little bit, you can see we've got these three main things. So we've got the smash, contract, relax, and distractions. So the smash is literally, it's kind of like giving yourself a massage. We've got lacrosse balls, which we can use in various places. I'm not going to go through everywhere we can use it, but it's basically smashing the muscle on a very sort of small scale, but you'll find trigger points around in your hips, shoulders, all sorts of places. And when you're doing that, you're not just rolling around on it. Same with the foam roller. You're using this contract, relax as well. So you're actually squeezing your bum and then releasing if you were doing it in your glute here. And it's the same with the foam roller. I can roll under my arm here. And again, I'm going to smash across. I contract, relax, and that's going to help the roller get into wherever you're rolling. It could be on your quads, could be hamstrings, whatever, okay? So that's your contract, relax, and your smash. The contract, relax we use for the other one as well. Distractions. So I've got my band here. I'm going to go and tie it up onto a post. And as I stretch backwards, I said earlier, I'm not just going to stretch, I'm going to contract and then relax. And this is the distraction. The distraction is actually the band pulling my shoulder almost out of the joint a little bit. And you can do that for your hips. You can do it in your ankle a little bit as well. So that's a distraction, and you're always using that contract, relax. So those are the three techniques that we can use. If you need a bit extra help with any of this, obviously you should be getting most of this through a WhitFit session. So you're getting your mobility, you're getting your strength training. But if you want an in-depth assessment, then you can book in with a coach. We can assess you on these movements and give you a plan. So if you keep getting injured, it's good to have a plan to kind of work on, do a little bit extra outside of your session. So you can book in with a coach or you can book in with a massage therapist. Obviously you're doing your strength training already. You could get a regular sports massage, that will help you a bit, but you still need the strength element. So that's good for the mobility side of things, but you still need to be able to mobilise and stay strong. And you've got to do the work. So when you do get the plan, make sure you do the work, schedule it in, and that will help you a lot if you're wanting to prevent injuries. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.